Hello everyone, I'm Brian, and today I'm going to be reacting to Academy Award-winning Keeravani in conversation with Sadhguru, full talk. This is the second take because the first one, make sure I am watching my audio there. I was doing a test on something else, and I guess it messed up my mic recording, and oh man, I don't know if I'll be able to remember everything I've said then, but hopefully I have decent memory and I can.
Sadhguru garu, హృదయపూర్వక నమస్కారాలండి, వందనాలు. నేను మీతో తెలుగులో మాట్లాడిద్దాం అనుకుంటున్నాను ఇప్పుడు కొంతసేపు. హైదరాబాద్ వచ్చారు మీరు, చక్కగా 2 వాక్యాలు మీరు తెలుగులో మాట్లాడి మమ్మల్ని ఆశీర్వదిస్తే నేను చాలా సంతోషిస్తాను.
నా తెలుగు తేనెలాగా లేదండి.
ఇప్పటివరకు ఈ నదుల గురించి మనం ఎంతో ఆవేదనని మనం షేర్ చేసుకుని చాలా బరువెక్కిన హృదయాలతో ఉన్నామండి. నేను ఈ కాన్వర్సేషన్లో మీతో నదుల గురించి మాట్లాడి ఇంకా నేను అదే మూడ్లో ఉండదలుచుకోలేదు, ఎందుకంటే నా హృదయం ఇప్పటికే బాధతో బరువెక్కింది. మిమ్మల్ని నాకు అవసరమైన ప్రశ్నలు, ఇక్కడ నా సోదరులు సోదరిమణులకి అవసరమైన వాళ్ళకు ఉపయోగపడే ప్రశ్నలు నేను తయారు చేసుకుని వచ్చాను. పరీక్ష రాయడానికి వచ్చినట్టుగా వచ్చాను.
ఎన్ని ప్రశ్నలు తీసుకుంటే ఎలాగండి? ఇది ఆన్సర్ పేపర్ లాగా ఉంది. ఇది
లేదండి,
పేపర్ లాగా లేదు. అది పేజీలు చూస్తే ఆన్సర్ పేపర్ లాగా తెలుస్తుంది నాకు.
క్వశ్చన్ ఆ ప్రశ్నల వల్ల నేను కొంత లాభం పొంది ఇక్కడ సోదర సోదరిమణులందరూ కొంత లాభం పొందాలని ఆశిస్తూ సరదాగా మిమ్మల్ని ఒక చిన్న ప్రశ్నతో మొదలు పెడతానండి. మీరు హైదరాబాద్ వచ్చారు కాబట్టి డివోటీస్లో ఎవరైనా మిమ్మల్ని భోజనానికి ఆహ్వానిస్తే, 3 ఆహ్వానించారు మిమ్మల్ని. ఒకరు ఆవకాయ పప్పు రెడీ చేసుకున్నారు, ఇంకొకళ్ళు హైదరాబాదీ బిర్యానీ రెడీ చేసుకున్నారు, ఇంకొకళ్ళు జిలేబీ రెడీ చేశారు. మీరు ఎవరింటికి ఆతిథ్యానికి వెళ్తారండి?
Okay, so I can remember most of the things that I said, but I more than likely will be streamlining it as well as something I said before is that I always try to answer the questions before Sadhguru, just because at least you hear what my opinion is before Sadhguru says anything. It's like, oh yeah, that's what I meant, that's what I said, before his influence comes onto me, just to make sure that for me that my mindset is correct. Well, to make sure that you can know what I'm thinking before Sadhguru says anything. But at this point, I've heard most of his stuff already, so this is not the first time I'm hearing it. So it's not going to be, say, like me freshly watching it. But something again, like I said earlier, I was doing some tests on OBS, and it messed up my mic for some odd reason, and I can't believe I didn't check it. So this one, this question, I'll streamline it. I'd invite all 3 of them, and let's all share the dish. I wouldn't go to any particular house. Why? You just meet somewhere. Let's have like a picnic. I don't know if that's something that's handled in India or anything, but a get together where we bring the food together to one house and just eat there, share it.
మధ్యాహ్నం అయితే ఆవకాయ, నైట్ అయితే జిలేబీ అండి.
Why refuse food?
Sadhguruji, shall I continue in English? తెలుగులోనే కంటిన్యూ చేస్తామండి. అందరూ తెలుగు అడుగుతున్నారు. సద్గురుజీ, ముందర నాకు ఒక మానసిక సంఘర్షణ ఉందండి మనసులో ఎప్పటి నుంచో. ఆ విషయంలో మీ నాకు సలహా కావాలి. నేను కొన్ని సంవత్సరాల క్రితం ఇంట్లో కూర్చున్నప్పుడు గోడ మీద బల్లి కనబడుతుందండి. ఆ బల్లి ఎదురుగుండా ఒక చిన్న పురుగు ఉంటుంది. దాన్ని నేను కాన్సన్ట్రేట్ చేసి చూసినప్పుడు, అది అటెన్షన్ నాకు వచ్చినప్పుడు, ఆ పురుగుని అది తినడానికి సంసిద్ధం అవుతుందని నాకు అర్థమవుతూ ఉంటుంది. నేను తొందరగా వెళ్ళి దాన్ని తరిమేస్తాను పురుగుని, సో దట్ lizard is not getting it. అంటే దాన్ని సేవ్ చేసిన సంతృప్తి కోసం నాకు తరిమేసేవాడిని అండి. కొన్ని సంవత్సరాల తర్వాత ఏమనుకున్నానంటే అది దానికి ఆహారం కదా, మనం దాన్ని ఎందుకు డిస్టర్బ్ చేయడం అనేది వదిలేయడం అలవాటైందండి. ఇప్పుడేంటంటే ఎప్పుడు ఆ సందర్భం ఎదురైనా సరే అది వదిలేయాలా దాన్ని తెరమేయాలా అనే సంఘర్షణతో నిత్యం నాకు అది ఉండే ప్రాబ్లం అండి. అది దానికి మీ ఒక ఓటు నాకు కావాలి. ఏం చేయాలి ఆ సందర్భంలో? నేను దాన్ని తెరమేయాలా దాన్ని వదిలేయాలా అట్లా?
Okay, so for this one, I said leave nature to its, let nature be. You know, obviously, animals need to eat, insects need to eat, and they have to sometimes kill to eat. So if you save something, you end up, you know, making the whatever animal that you took away their, essentially took away their food, like he said there. So my role in my terms of that is like, if you see a lizard and a moth or whatever, leave them be. Now my question was, whenever I first saw this, like, let's say you own a ranch or a dairy farm or something like that, you know, where you know, milk the cows, or you shave the sheeps for their wool, or you know, some kind of or even crops for that matter, because you know, obviously animals still need to eat vegetables or fruits. Now, do you interfere at that point? You know, vegetable, fruits, cattle, sheep, you know, anything that you own in your property, you know, that you make money off and that you feed your family with. Like if there's wolves out there to, or any type of animal that wants to eat your cows or eat your sheeps, you know, do you interfere then? For me, I'd say yes. It's a little bit different when it's, and this is some people should know, is that obviously when it's not related to you in some way, you don't really feel an emotional attachment to it. Or if it's related to you in some way, like your family member or like your pets, or like your even your farm animals, a lot of people do care for their farm animals, and they see them more like, not exactly like animals, but more like family that you kind of take care of, and then you kind of have a mutual relationship with, where you know, you harvest their wool or their milk and you take care of them. You provide them a safety where they can graze freely without any stress or anything like that, and you protect them. It's a kind of a mutual relationship, you could say. So at that point, what do you say? What would Sadhguru say about this? Do you let nature take its course, or do you interfere with nature? For me, I'd say at that point, because it's your property, that you interfere with it because you want to protect the animals that are under your care. But wild animals are not under your care, and maybe you interfere. Maybe you don't interfere. But at the same time, imagine if, you know, there's a wolf and then there's a baby rabbit. Like a bunch of baby rabbits are sitting somewhere, and the mother rabbit couldn't save them because, you know, it's a wolf. Do you interfere then? Or do you leave it be? That's kind of like a hard one. When you think of animals that are very cute and that you want to protect because they're so cute, do you interfere then? A lizard and a moth, not really cute looking. So you're like, yeah, it's fine. But when it becomes like, say, even wild dogs or wild cats, or just something that's wild, that's not your pet but cute, and then there's a predator coming, do you interfere there or not? That's an interesting question. I don't think Sadhguru answers her.
We should leave the lizard's business to the lizard.
Yeah.
Because the very nature of life is such that one life consumes another life. This is how life is designed. This is not my idea or your idea. This is the nature of life. Just because a little bit of brain or cerebral development happened recently, you know. Just some time ago we were all monkeys. Just recently this brain developed a little bit. So we're little overexcited about our own intellect that we started thinking everything in fragments. Our idea of well-being is all in fragments. We think we will save the moth, but we did not think about the lizard. Then we thought, let him eat. It's not for you or me to even think whether he should eat or not. He will eat. If he cannot eat, he will die. This is the nature of life. In human societies, we create situations because to sustain life in a certain way, to protect life in a certain way, because we are not physically as empowered as even a lizard or a bird or an animal or a tiger or an elephant. We are not empowered like that. We have an intelligence, we have a consciousness which is beyond them, but we don't have physical prowess like them. So, human societies need to be cultured where both the strong and the weak can exist. But nature is not made like this, only the strong survive, the weak must go. But this is not even about strong and weak, what you're talking about. This is the natural cycle of life. And if we interfere with that, it is because we have wrong ideas of life. We have a set of moralities which are not life, which doesn't fit into life, which doesn't nourish life. If you have a morality or an ethic which does not support life, I think unknowingly you are becoming death-oriented. So you will see this happening to people who have taken on to big moral values and ethics. They can't even smile for nuts. If they smile, their face will crack up because they have created an unnatural sense of life within themselves. All this problem is coming because of a kind of unnatural level of self-significance that human beings have assumed about themselves. The worst idea that was put into human mind by religious groups is, you are made in God's own image and all other creatures here are here to serve you. No, if you pay… I have paid enough attention to ants and birds and animals and insects. I find they have a full-fledged life of their own, an entire system of life, a society, a family, everything within themselves. Why are we thinking we are the only life and all of them are here to serve us? This is the most disastrous idea. We must understand every life has a right to live here as you and me have a right to live here. As much right, not any less right. The ant and the elephant have equal right to exist in this. This is how nature is created. It is only in human mind we think elephant is big, ant is small. That does not exist in nature. Elephant may be big, ants have democratic numbers. If we hold a vote, ants will win. So if you go by human values and hold a democratic election in the jungle, ant will become the king of the jungle.
Next time I will leave lizard's business to itself, Sadhguruji. Sadhguruji, if the farmer is informed about the rains and other weather conditions in advance, maybe 2 days or be it 1 week or 1 month sometimes, he is being benefited in farming. Similarly, a fisherman is being benefited when he is informed about the cyclones or tsunamis to come in advance. They are forecasting and predicting. If this is right, why can't astrology be useful for mankind in many ways by giving information in advance by experts, not anybody, by proper astrologers, proper scholars and eminent astrologers. I saw a video of yourself somewhere condemning… where did you condemn…
Condemn? Did I condemn anybody?
No.
I have not hanged anybody yet.
You said there is no need for astrology. Why do you want to depend on planets, lifeless planets? But can't we depend to an extent by availing the great science all rishis developed since ages?
Okay. So this one, I couldn't remember what the weatherman's title was. It's meteorologist. I'm not even saying that right, but it's pretty close to it. But even them, they do predictions as well. They do prediction based on percentages. Say like about 80% chance of rain. They're never wrong. Why? Because there's a 20% chance that it won't rain. If they say it's a 100% chance of rain and it doesn't rain, then there's the problem. But they'll probably never say 100%. They'll probably say 80 to 90%, more than likely. But the thing is that for astrology, I'm not sure exactly how that works. I mean, there's astrology in the United States, but I'm pretty sure it's different, very much different. I'm sure, because astrology in the Western world is just mostly garbage. It's fun, but garbage. But anyways, put it this way, I'd let them know. It's like, hey, guess what? If you find someone who can predict with 90% accuracy, then sure. I mean, science tends to be, I'd say, 100%. And now you're going to say, no, science not 100%. It kind of is. And what I mean by that is that if done correctly, generally speaking, they'll get it right. It's not to say that they won't make mistakes. It's not to say that they'll get it wrong. But if done correctly, it'll be done correctly. As in, it'll either be wrong or right. There's no in between. There's no maybe. So if they do something to the T and it fails, that is 100% wrong. If they do something to a T multiple times and it succeeds, that is correct. It's always done to, it's either going to fail or succeed. There's no in between, generally speaking, in science. They have hypotheses and all that, which are probabilities, but it's not considered to be a scientific fact until it's proven to be true. So now meteorologists is a science to it, but it's not exact science. It's not 100% accurate. It's more probability than accuracy based on certain conditions. So I mean, I don't know how astrology would work, but if you can, I'd say, predict to perhaps the accuracy of a meteorologist, I believe that's the right title, then maybe, I mean, if you can make great predictions, that'd be amazing. But yeah, I'd probably say along the lines of those answers.
So the choice is this. So this is a popular question, everybody became quiet. We must understand this. There is material in this world, the five elements, the water, the wind, the earth, the fire, the space. And there are products which have come out of these five elements. From a simple plant, the simplest plant life, to animal life, to human beings. All these are the products of that. It is just that the products went on evolving. See, there was a time as civilizations grew, if you look for ancient civilizations, most of the time you look for pottery pieces, yes? Pieces of pottery. What pottery means is, you dug the earth and made pot out of it. You made this kind of pot, you made this kind of pot, you made that kind of pot, whatever kind of pot. That is the best they could do 1,000, 2,000 years ago or 5,000 years ago or whatever number. Today, you're digging the same earth and make a computer out of it. Same earth or no? The same soil with which you made a pot, today you are building a spacecraft, isn't it? So this is what life has also done. With the same soil, with the same elements, with which it created an amoeba, today it has made a Keeravani. All right? So, can you treat a pot and a computer the same way?
We cannot…
No. If I keep a pot here, we know pot will stay only here. If you don't handle it right, it'll break, otherwise it'll stay here, all right? But
Yes, Guruji.
today you can make a computer which will walk, which will talk, which will go all over the place. But it goes to a program. But now what a human being means is, we have evolved a consciousness. That means we can go beyond the natural tendencies of the materials with which we are made. That's what it means. We can go beyond whatever directions the wind is maybe blowing this way. There was a time if wind blows this way, all the ships went that way. Today, it doesn't matter which way the wind is blowing, they will go where they want to go, isn't it so? So, this is because of human consciousness, human ability and human will to do what? So similarly, all of you have a horoscope? All of you have a horoscope? Just one or many versions, come on, eh? Those of you married, I'm sure you have at least two. One was made to match the alliance, another was made at birth. Those in the business know these things, okay? Now, why I'm calling it a horoscope is, I'm asking you a simple question. If there is a truly intelligent human being in this hall, can you predict what they will do tomorrow? They may do something that's never been done on this planet, isn't it? But if you see a fool, you can say what he will do tomorrow and what he will do the rest of his life. So if it can be written down on paper and given it to you, that this is what you will do, I'm sorry.
I remember this one. So, put it this way, what I said was, during the time when I first listened to this one, it's like most of our lives is pretty mundane and, very repetitive. But that's consistency though. That means that there's no surprises, your day is going about as it should. You get up in the morning, you brush your teeth, you take a shower, you eat a little breakfast or lunch or whatever, you go to work, you get off work, you maybe take another shower, or you go out partying and then come home, take another shower, whatever it may be, and then you go back to bed. It's pretty consistent. You can see most of your days are going to be like that, meaning there's no surprises. I mean, imagine you getting up, you taking, brushing your teeth, taking a shower, you drive to work, get into a crash. That is not consistent, and that's when chaos happens. It's a little bit of chaos. Something that you weren't expecting to happen. It's not going a mundane routine. It's definitely separate from mundane because it's not something that normally happens. Is that a good mundane? No, it's not. It's bad. It's terrible. You got in an accident. You might have to buy a new car or a used car, and now you're late for work. Probably insurance going to go up. So mundaneness can be a good thing, but too much of it, too much of anything is a bad thing. So a little bit of chaos is fine, but it has to be the good kind. Maybe one day you say, like, I'm going to call out sick for work and I'm just going to go to sleep. It's chaos because you're not doing your same thing. You're going to sleep. It doesn't seem like chaos, but it's not the same. But you get what I'm saying. It's the fact that most of our lives is mundane, but it's good in a way that nothing unexpected happens. It's very predictable. But you're not really living life, but not everyone out there wants a chaotic life or cares for things to go awry or to be different from their everyday tasks. So it's all in the individual whether they want to spice things up, I guess you could say, in their life. And there's nothing wrong with a mundane life. It's if that is what you want, then there's nothing wrong with it. So when the Sadhguru says here, if you can write it down on a piece of paper and that's what you're going to do, essentially, I'm sorry. It's like, well, not really for me. I mean, I mostly live a mundane life. I like it, actually. It's very fun because I can depend on things to happen. Now, there's obviously going to be a little bit of spice in the life. It's not like always the same thing every single day, but most of the things are.
Now, does it mean to say the planets, the elements and various other influences have no influence on us? Definitely they have. They have influence on us. But the question is this: do you believe that inanimate things in the world, the planets, stars and whatever else, are superior or human consciousness is superior. You must decide. Which should determine the destiny of which one? Should we decide the destiny of the planet, or the planet should decide the destiny of who we are? So if you do not take life into your hands, then planets will decide what should happen to you to some extent. But if you take life into your hands, planets cannot decide. You must know this, the best astrologers in the world, in the country at least, if you tell them, I am on a spiritual path, they will say, no, we won't make predictions for you, because you have taken life into your hands. We can't make predictions for someone who's taken life into their hands. I'm interested to see that every one of you take your life into your hands. What it means is, if you have mastery over your physical body, 15 to 20% of your life and destiny will be in your hands. If you have mastery over your mind, 50 to 60% of your life and destiny will be in your hands. If you have mastery over your life energies, 100% of your life and destiny will be in your hands.
Oh, and the second thing I remember here is the fact that it said that and he will actually go over this, but it's the sheer fact that, at least at the time when I first watched this, that you have control over your body and yourself, and the objects that you have in contact with. I control this pen at the moment. The pen can't control itself. Well, it just sits there, but I control it. But I can't control other people. So I think that's going to come up pretty much next here, saying that, you know, you have control over yourself, what you do, your emotions, what you want to do with your life. Other people have control over theirs. And I was going to say, like, well, you don't have at the time I was saying, like, well, you can't control other people, so you don't have complete control over your destiny. You have control over yourself and what you do, absolutely. But in terms of if you want to be the CEO of something, there's going to be external factors that will play into whether you become a CEO or not. You can't say, I'll be the CEO, and then, I mean, you could say, I'll write down, I am CEO. I'm CEO. I am CEO. CEO. But you get what I'm saying.
Sadhguruji, I totally agree with you and satisfied, but still disagree with you in a way. Let me tell you. I know pretty well that
the intersection.
you love to drive a car, good car. There are signboards on the way, an accident-prone zone. That doesn't mean every car passing through that zone will meet with an accident, but it is more prone than the other areas, so that you will be cautiously driving while you are passing the…
First of all, no government has any business to say accident-prone zone. Unfortunately, they're saying it. They have no business to say it. They must tell me what is the grade of the road, what is the degree of turn, and I will decide how the hell I should drive.
And right here at this moment, excuse me, sorry. I agree with what the guy says. Now, to say it's an accident-prone zone doesn't mean that you should drive necessarily like recklessly or anything. It's just a warning that, you know, hey, there's a lot more accidents that occur in this particular area than another area that, you know, normally happens. There's like 50 accidents a year in here and only one in there. So this is an accident-prone zone because it's more than the normal. So I agree with what he said there. Like, I think the government should, like, if there's statistics that show that there's a lot of people that gets an accident there, the government needs to step into place and put in some safety guards there. Kind of like, what is it, I think in certain areas in the United States there's railroads, and if they notice that there's more cars going over and getting hit by a railroad, the train, what they'll end up doing is putting a gate, so that whenever a train comes, the gate will come down as a good warning that a car won't step in, because perhaps there's too much foliage, too many trees, so instead of chopping the trees down, they just put a fence guard there. That way, you know, you don't have to worry about visibility per se. You just have to be, obviously you should be listening, and then be mindful of the rail guards. There's certain railroad crossings that had lights too, and there are some like maybe not so busy railroad crossings that don't have any lights, but they just have the railroad crossing sign, and just for you to say, hey, look, there's railroad crossing, be careful. But again, mind you, how much of a government should intervene should be limited. But if there's something to be cautious about, I think it's fair enough for the government to say, hey, be careful. I don't know how that comes into the public's eye, onto the road or anything. It all depends. But again, like the example of the railroad, if so many people are dying because of that intersection on the railroad, the government's going to try to protect the citizens by putting a rail guard or at least flashing lights to say, hey, because for some reason people are not paying attention there, either because there's foliage in the way or whatever it may be. They'll put flashing lights, and if that doesn't work, they'll put a rail guard that will come down, that if you hit it will just kind of get knocked away, but it's just there to hopefully stop people from dying in that intersection, because people are somewhat now if there's too many happening, it's not necessarily there's a lot of irresponsible people, but maybe there's something blocking the vision, maybe the sound acoustics in that area doesn't travel very well, whatever it may be that prevents people from stopping, or people from dying there. They put other safety guards there.
If there are any surprises on the road, there is a broken bridge, there is a deviation, there is a diversion, they must mention that. Why the hell are you telling me it's accident prone just because some fool went and crashed?
Plus maybe not just one fool, there could be many fools. and clearly there's something going on in that intersection that is problematic. Again, like I said, the railroad's a great one where maybe you can't see, can't hear, and you think there's nothing there, and all of a sudden you cross it, bam, you get hit.
See, there are many people who will buy a car, new car, before they bring it out of the showroom, they will take a coconut and break it on the car and create a dent on the car and then drive it, because they're shit scared of driving. If you give… I don't get to buy a car, what people give I drive. Otherwise, if I buy, I will swing it out of the showroom on the first day. I won't sit and do puja in front of the car because I know how to drive.
For now, agreed, Sadhguruji, for now. I wish I will have one more conversation with you somewhere else on the same subject. Sadhguruji,
See,
what is the…
No, let's understand this. See, this is all it is. There are many uncertainties. I may be very good driver, but still I can hit something or something can hit me. Always this chance is there, do you understand? This chance is always there with every aspect of life, not just with road. So the problem is, because you don't have the courage to handle it, you want to know what will happen tomorrow. If you want to know what will happen tomorrow, one thing that will happen to you is, you will not play today's game well. Yes.
I'm gonna fix the game, I remember this one.
Essentially, you are a match fixer.
Of course!
That is, you want to know the result before you play the game, you're a match fixer, isn't it? Right now, it is for match fixing in India, there is a 10-year imprisonment. So before you get married, you want to know whether you live joyfully or not. Arey? You have to get married, you have to take responsibility for each other and see that it works. There is no magic to it.
Sadhguruji, what is the quality you find in an Indian…
Okay, I'm gonna pause it right here because I think this is a decently long one. Okay, so to go back on what he said there about the match fixer, or fixer of match fixer. Yes, I think we all do want to be a match fixer, to a degree. And what I mean by this is that that obviously before you head out in the day, you want to know if it rains or not. What's the probability of rain? It's not guaranteed. If it says 0% chance, you're pretty safe to know that you don't need an umbrella to go out. If it says about 90% chance, like, you know what, I don't know if I want to go out, or if I'm going to go out, then I need to bring an umbrella with me. So that's in the sense match fixing. Which I think is actually the next thing is talk about here, because I got up to this point, but anyways, you want to know if you're compatible with people. That's match fixing as well. I think I'll save that for the next one because it is coming up in this one. But you just want to put yourself in the best position possible to make the best position for the best choices for yourself as possible, to be informed on your decisions that you make. That's match fixing to a degree. Not completely, perhaps, but close enough to it. If you realize that you need to get to work and then the path that you normally take is traffic blocked, you don't want to take that path because you're gonna be stuck there. You're gonna be late for work. You want to make sure it's like, okay, if that path's taken, let me take a different path that's clear, and I'll take that path to work. So that's, again, match fixing to a degree. You can call it 100% match fixing or somewhat degree. It's both plausible because you're giving yourself the best possible outcome. You're not taking the same path that's blocked and you can't get to work. You're not going out in the world that's like, that did not rain today, and it's like raining right on you right now. It's like, it's not raining. You want to make sure that you're in the best possible position. There's nothing wrong with that. Now, don't do it at the expense of people, of course. Just whatever you can do to put yourself in a better position that doesn't harm or affect other people in a negative manner, I think is perfectly fine. Now, that's the reason I say think, because I don't know if someone's smart enough out there that can do that and still negatively affect someone. But you get what I'm saying. It's the fact that if it's going to rain, I want to bring an umbrella. If there's the path that I normally take to work, I want to make sure that I follow a different path so I don't become late for work. I leave early. Even leaving early is a match fixing because you're not leaving on your normal time. You're leaving early. You're cheating. But you get what I'm saying, I hope. Anyways, I'm sorry about the first video. I need to make sure I check my mic every time I record. I need to check my mic every time I record. Not pointing at him, but the mic over there. And yeah, that was really weird. I thought maybe it still recorded my audio just in the editing process, that it just muted the mic for some odd reason. Anyways, that's it. If you like my content, please consider subscribing. Thumbs up, thumbs down below. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next vid.